Basic circuits can be kind of intimidating when you first look at them. You've got 5 or 6 different circuits, and if you've got a problem, you've got this mass of wires, and people get kind of frustrated. But if you break it down into the individual parts, every circuit is actually pretty simple. You've only got 3 parts of any circuit. You've got a power source, you've got conductors to carry the electrons to the load, you've got a load, and then one thing that people forget about a lot of times is you have to have a path back to the battery. So that's the 3 parts of any simple circuit. Now when you get into real life situations, they add a couple things, but it still works exactly the same. Most automotive circuits start with a voltage source. They have a conductor carrying the electricity to the load, but instead of a separate wire going back to the battery, they attach the load to an aluminum block or a steel frame which conducts electricity just as well as the copper wire. So they ground it, the electricity flows through the engine block and then back to the battery, which that post is grounded to the block also. In order to be able to just turn this stuff on when you want it and to give it a little circuit protection, some of the circuits will incorporate a fuse that will blow out if you get a short or an overload, and then you have a switch that you can actually open the circuit to shut the load off or close it when you want to use it. So a basic circuit is pretty simple, and there's really only 4 things in any electrical circuit that could cause a problem. First of these is the voltage source. Now, the voltage source, in most cases, it's a battery. It could be run down by sitting for a while or left the lights on or whatever. So the first thing you want to check is make sure you have an adequate voltage source. The second thing that could keep a circuit from working would be what we call an open. Basically, an open is just a break in the conductor either to the load, or it could also show up as an open circuit in the ground circuit going back to the battery. Third thing that could cause a problem is a burnt out load or light bulb, and then you could have a short circuit, which is basically an insulated wire that's gotten frayed, or some reason the electricity takes a shortcut back to the battery instead of going through the load or through the resistance. It just makes a shortcut that causes high amperage, and that's where you get into melted down wires or blown fuses. So those are the only 4 things that can keep a circuit from working, and basically to find out which of those is the problem, you're only going to need to use 3 tools. And these tools are readily available. They're fairly inexpensive, and one of the first things we're going to demonstrate is a battery load tester, and that's to see if your battery is adequate to carry the load.